She said that they had spent money in it and it was growing and growing and
oh, so she was gonna buy it. He gave her money. That was her. I think Christmas gift. He gave her money to buy it for me. But I couldn't buy it because I don't know. You have to link the account. I couldn't link an account.
really?
I couldn't link an account to buy it. He was able to.
All right, so what's your name, sir?
Dan Lee in Delicato.
You waiving the charges, at least one of the charges, counsel? The reading?
Wait, absolutely.
Okay, but then the other one, which is where I think the state is asking for a higher bond, is the ag assault on a police officer. So they have been cited separately, and they're asking for a $10,000 bond on the ag assault and $5,000 on the other case. Do you want to be heard?
Yes, Judge. First, I'll start with the aggravated assault case. I think that the interim lacks sufficient probable cause for that case to go forward. With ag assault, when it's spitting, it needs to be intentional or reckless, and it purposefully has to put them in reasonable apprehension. Here, those facts are not in the interim, Judge. It just seems as though Dan was speaking loudly and spitting while he spoke, at least from how I read it. So, Judge, I would ask that charge be dismissed. If you're not inclined to dismiss that, Judge, as to, well, we can take that point by point if the state wants to be heard.
Mr. Terrace? And one, I guess I'm not sure I can because I didn't make the decision on that. I think a judge already signed it because this has been continued. So I'm not sure that I can now override that judge's signature on that.
I think this is his first court appearance, Judge. I don't think that a judge has had the probable cause determination on it.
Let's see. I don't remember me signing it. Maybe I did. I didn't sign it. It was already signed, right? Yeah, it was already signed by somebody. We did continue at once. He was unavailable this morning. So, yeah. Body worn camera.
Does the court still want to hear from me, Judge?
No, because I just don't think I can do it. I think that, if I was the one who had made the decision, I would be willing to hear that argument. But I didn't. Another judge has already signed it. So I'm not going to address the probable cause. I'm going to leave it that standing. So, as far as bond.
Well, Judge, as far as bond goes, Judge, we would be asking for his release today. For a number of reasons. Judge, I've been doing this a while now. I've never had deputies at the jail come to me and ask that a defendant be released specifically because they are very, very worried about Mr. Delicato's medical issues that he's facing here at the jail. They do not think they have the resources to staff it. They are asking that he be released to the CRC or some sort of medical situation. He is willing to go back to Community Bridges. That's where he had been registered before, and the contact with Community Bridges seemed to indicate that he had been there up until last week. So he hadn't been really ducking his registration requirements to a huge extent, it seems, by the probable cause interim. And just to highlight these medical conditions, Judge, he was medically refused 2 nights ago. He's having difficulty speaking, seeing, hearing. He does have a history of bipolar, schizophrenia. Just bipolar. Excuse me, Judge. Just bipolar. So he does have some pretty serious mental health issues. And the medical issues that he's experiencing at the jail, Judge, are so sufficient that they are worried for his safety should he be held on a bond. If you are inclined to hold him on a bond, Judge, we would ask that it be nominal, given that he is homeless.
Yep. All right, Mr. Terrace, do you want to be heard, or are you sticking with your recommendations?
Your Honor, I don't have anything to add to the recommendation.
Okay. I guess my theory on this is, and maybe it's right or wrong, but I don't think that Mr. Indelicato is a good risk for release, and I don't think releasing him is going to end him up where he needs to be. I think there'd be a better chance of him being seen again when he has a lawyer and getting him arranged to be released to someplace. So, but I do think that he doesn't need huge bonds on these. So I'm going to hold him on $1,000 bond on the assault charge and appoint a public defender. Contact with the victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs, release to pretrial services if posted. April 7th at 1:30 is the preliminary hearing. And then on the registration charge, I'm going to hold him on a $500 bond and free trial services if released, appoint the public defender. And so they'll both be at April 7th at 1:30. Mr. Delicato also has a city court case. Sir, it's from 2024. Counsel, if you think he's not competent to hear this, but what I was going to do is offer him, it's a shopping cart possession case, offer him time served if he wants to plead guilty. But counsel, if you don't think that he's competent to even think about that, then I will offer him that choice. You guys are muted again.
Judge, I am worried about competency, so I think that's a pretty generous offer, but I think if we're going to hold him on the other cases, we might as well just wait for an attorney to come down and see him.
Then, sir, I am going to release you on these, but what we do is set it for
Thank you.
video review, give you a public defender, so if you are not out,
Okay.
then they'll see you on video on this shopping cart charge, okay? Okay.
I sure appreciate the release, man.
No, they're holding you on the felonies, though.
Huh?
They're going to hold you on the felonies.
I'm not gonna be released?
No.
What?
He did appreciate every.
Can we get the court date on the misdemeanor case?
Yeah, we set them for May 16th at 9 as a non-transport review, and then his public defender can ask for an earlier date if they want.
Appreciate that, Judge. We can't be. All right.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Or your name. Arthur Hunter.
Okay. So I've got a fugitive warrant for you out of Las Vegas, charging you from and asking that you be held without bond on 2 assaults with a deadly weapon, child abuse, possession of a weapon by a prohibited possessor, and discharging a gun in a prohibited area. So, you all think I can hold him without a bond or no? It's not a probation case, right?
Is Nevada asking that you hold him? Is the warrant state asking that you hold him without a bond, or is it?
Yeah.
I don't know, Judge. I know he's in custody on other charges. I think that under our law, you can't hold him without a bond. I think they may be asking under you can't hold him without a bond under Arizona law, but I think it may be different under Nevada. So I think because this is being held in Arizona, we do have to set a bond amount.
All right. You have a suggestion. State has a suggestion of 100,000.
I would ask for something substantially more reasonable than that, Judge. He is in custody on other charges, though, so we would like a bond for time credit purposes.
He's got. I saw something that said he has a sentencing. Did I not see that somewhere? Is that in April, I feel like?
April 18th, Judge.
All right, well, I will hold him on a $50,000 cash or secured bond and appoint the legal defender and no guns, and set it for March 20th at 2:30 for a fugitive warrant review.
I'll explain this. Right. Appreciate you guys. Where's the guy?
What's your name?
Caleb Parks.
All right, you're charged with domestic violence assault, 2 counts, and domestic violence disorderly conduct, 2 counts. I'm going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence, not to consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you need to come back to court in city court on April 22nd at 2 o'clock, or warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your release. What's your name, ma'am?
Angela Reyes.
Charge of domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order you not to commit acts of domestic violence, and you need to come back to city court on April 15th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you're released.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mayor? Yes.
What's your name?
Michael Daniel Noriega.
All right, you're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault on a minor, contributing to the delinquency or dependency of a minor, and endangering the life, health, or welfare of a minor. I am going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence, and you need to come back to city court on April 14th at 2 o'clock, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Ma'am.
All right, then you're released.
Honor, these are the Spanish speakers next.
Oh. What's your name, sir?
Manuel Armando Moran Toscano.
My interpreter there?
Interpreter's present, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir, you are charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and reckless driving.
Señor, se le ha presentado cargos manejando bajo la influencia de alcohol y manejando de manera imprudente.
I am going to appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you on these misdemeanor charges.
Le voy a nombrar la abogada Janet Altschuler a que lo represente bajo tocante estos cargos.
Don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs.
No manejar sin licencia vigente, se le prohíbe beber alcohol ni drogas alcohol ni drogas ilegales.
I'm going to hold you on a $500 bond, and Marana City Court will see you tomorrow at noon.
Voy a tenerlo bajo una fianza de $500 y el Tribunal Municipal de Marrana lo verán mañana a las 12 mediodía por video.
All right?
¿Está bien?
Está bueno.
That's fine.
Okay. That's it, sir.
Muy bien, es todo, señor.
What is your name, sir?
Jesús Francisco Tadeo.
Jesús Francisco Tadeo.
All right. I have you down as Tapia Martinez. Is that correct?
Yo tengo aquí como Tapia Martínez. ¿Eso es correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
You are charged with domestic violence assault, 3 counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage.
Se le ha presentado cargos de violencia doméstica, agresión, 3 cargos de violencia doméstica, conducta contra el orden público y un cargo de violencia doméstica, daños delituosos.
Two of the charges are from May 20th, and then 3 of them are from today.
3 de los cargos son del 20 de mayo y 3 de ellos son de hoy.
Do you have any guns?
¿Tiene usted armas? Pistolas, armas de fuego?
No.
No.
All right. I am going to order you not to commit any acts of domestic violence,
Muy bien, te voy a ordenar. Go ahead, Your Honor, go ahead.
Not to commit any acts of domestic violence, not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, not to possess any firearms.
Le voy a ordenar de no cometer violencia doméstica, no consumir alcohol ni drogas ilegales y de no portar armas.
No return to Sarah Curiel's residence.
No regresar a la residencia de Sara Carrillo.
And I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you on this and hold you on a $1,000 bond.
Y nombrarle la defensora pública del municipal de la ciudad y detenerlo bajo una fianza de $1,000.
And your next court date will be March 26th at 1:30.
Y su siguiente audiencia va a ser el 26 de marzo a la 1:30 de la tarde.
And that's it, sir.
Y es todo, señor.
And the interpreter can be excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good night.
All right, I'm waiting for the public defender, but I can do the misdemeanors for, are you Miss Payne? Okay. All right, Miss Payne, what I can talk to you about before the public defender comes is that you have a Marana case, shoplifting with 1, 2, 3, 4 failures to appear. And it's got a $350 bond on it. So I am going to appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you, hold you on a $350 bond, order you not to go back to the incident location, and they will see you tomorrow at noon. Counsel, I need you on this one, but I'm doing her misdemeanors first since you weren't here. So I am holding her on a Marana case for tomorrow since I disagree with the state's recommendation on these. But so tomorrow at noon, they will see you in Marana, and Janet Altschuler will be your lawyer. Then you have a shoplifting case from 2024 with failures to appear out of Justice Court. And I will appoint Ms. Altschuler to represent you on those two. And I will hold you on a $500 bond on those. No return to the incident location. And that one, they will see you tomorrow at 1. So you'll have court all afternoon tomorrow, and Miss Altschuler will represent you on everybody. And then you have this felony that the public defender is here for you tonight, aggravated shoplifting, and the state is suggesting that I release you to pretrial services. I guess I will do what the state wants to. So don't go back to the incident location, appoint the public defender. Report to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and your next court date will be April 7th at 1:30. And that's it. But she does have the 2 city court, or the 2 justice court in Marana holds. What's your name, sir?
Walter Wayne Allison III.
All right, you are charged with felony shoplifting. Counsel, the state is asking for a $2,500 bond in this case. Did you want to be heard?
Judge, we would ask for a more reasonable bond than that. I would like to point that his criminal history is all nonviolent. He's been a lifelong resident of Tucson, so longstanding ties to the community. So we would ask for a more reasonable bond of $500.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender, order the defendant not to go back to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'll hold him and split the baby on a $1,500 bond, released to pretrial if posted, and March 26th at 1:30 will be the preliminary hearing.
Yep.
See out there again. Champagne? I see.
What's your name?
Jacqueline Champagne.
All right, you are charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a dangerous instrument. I would point out that somehow this became pre-trial a non-violent offense in your list. The state's asking for a $10,000 bond. Counsel, did you want to be heard?
Absolutely, Judge. We're asking that Ms. Champagne be released to the custody of pretrial services. I'd like to highlight some things. First, when it comes to flight risk. One, Ms. Champagne has lived here for 2.5 years. She has every reason to stay in Tucson, Judge, given the fact that she's conducting postdoctorate research at the U of A. So this is not someone, if she can make everything she needs to get to a postdoctorate, I don't believe that she's a flight risk. And to give that up to flee from a F6, I don't think that that's very likely. So I don't think that she is a flight risk. And second, Judge, as to danger, Ms. Champagne has no prior criminal history whatsoever to speak of at 30 years old. Her partner, Anastasia, she is welcoming the defendant to return. She is not objecting to her release from custody. I believe Anastasia would be in the best position to estimate the danger of Ms. Champagne, and that is that there is nothing to Ms. Champagne. She understands, Judge, that you may not want, you may order no contact with Anastasia, and she is prepared for that reality. She does have the funds necessary to secure a hotel and get residents away from Anastasia during the pendency of this case or until a court order separates them. As for tonight, Judge, she is experiencing some mental health concerns. And she is going to speak to pretrial services, and they will likely, if she is released, she's likely going to be released to the CRC and get some relief through that, Judge. So I think given her lack of criminal history, given the victim's position on her release, and just given who Ms. Champagne is, Judge, holding her on bond does not seem appropriate. So for those reasons, Judge, we are asking for her release to pretrial services.
All right, you did get a copy of the risk assessment, right, counsel? Because I did. So I see a high risk on the risk assessment. And I understand why the victim might want contact in return, but I might have to make a decision based on danger, based on the allegations and the domestic violence risk assessment. So I am going to appoint a public defender. I am going to order the defendant not to go back to Miss Alexis's house, but she did want contact, so I'll allow contact, but no return to her wherever she is working or living. No firearms or other weapons, including knives. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No acts of domestic violence. I am going to hold Ms. Champagne on a $10,000 bond. Pretrial services if posted, and the preliminary hearing will be April 7th at 1:30.
Thanks, Judge.
And you all know we have Mr. Rios, right? There he is. Yeah, did I not? I'm sorry. I said it, didn't I? I said the in custody date. Counsel, I did say the in custody of March 26th, right? I guess I picked it wrong. I should be March 26th. I guess I said the out of custody date. Sorry. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. There's Mr. What's your name?
Yep.
All right. You are charged with theft of means of transportation and theft, felony theft. And Mr. Terrace, how come you're asking for a $10,000 bond?
Your Honor, the state would note, given the pretrial services report, that he does have 10 prior convictions and appears is on parole out of Marietta, Virginia.
Oh, okay. So I probably missed that part. Is there a hold or no?
When I was looking earlier, there was no hold noted by pretrial services.
Okay. All right, counsel, did you want to argue on behalf of Mr. Rios?
Judge, we'd just be asking for a more reasonable bond given the parole hold.
Okay.
He's gonna have a parole. It's not noted now, but BOC will have one shortly.
All right. I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Rios. Order him not to have any contact with the victim. No alcohol or illegal drugs. 7,500. Yeah.
My wife was actually trying to call and get all the Pima County Sheriff's Department to have these charges dismissed. It was a misunderstanding, and I'm trying to find out where it's at this point.
All right. Well, right now is where it's at. I have the charges, so I have to set a bond on you, and they'll have to make a decision later whether to go forward. So I am going to hold you on a $7,500 bond. Pretrial services have posted and set the preliminary hearing for March 26th at 4 o'clock. So your public defender will be at the top.
She was trying to put it in here.
$500 bond, how much is that?
So I'll let you talk to your lawyer about that. Okay?
Attorney will come out to see you in a couple days, Mr. Rios. So you're transferring you down to Tucson, and then an attorney will come to see you probably on Tuesday because it'll take a day to charges. If the charges get dismissed, you'll be released prior to that preliminary date that the judge just set. Your attorney can.
No.
I put some toilet paper just in case somebody needs to go. I put some toilet paper right there just in case somebody needs to go.
Voy a poner el teléfono a
Charge?
en el baño.
I put a phone.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. Once Maricopa starts, I'll go ahead and start it back up. All right, you guys have a good one.